We're back, part 3. Let's do this. A couple of little fun jobs today. I say fun, they're just better than doing mechanical stuff, I guess. So some stuff I've already done. Top clamp is pretty bad. I did order one of the Chinesium top covers, but I don't really like it. I think it's pretty tacky. I've got some 4D carbon fibre wrap left over from another project that I did. So I'm going to wrap that, and then also I need to make another little dash to mount onto this top yoke. So I've already cut out the template for it, which is going to be something like this. And then I've taken some alley and some carbon fibre from another project. You can see I managed to stick this paper to it when I clamped it down, but just alley, carbon fibre, cut that template out of it, and then I can use that to mount a switch that I want to put up on the top clamp. What I'll probably do is, even though it's carbon fibre, I'm going to match it with the carbon fibre wrap that's on this, so it essentially looks all like one piece. So we've got that one to do today. What else are we doing? Ah, yes, goodies. Scott steering damper. I'm going to give this a quick service, and then on the bike, previous owners ripped out the riv nuts out the frame, so we're going to replace the riv nuts. So yeah, top yoke, service the steering damper, and then fix the riv nuts on the frame so I can mount everything up. And that's what we're on for today. So we'll start off with the Scott steering damper. 2 little screws on the back there. They're a 2mm Allen key. So we'll crack them open. Oh. There's one. There's two little O-rings in here as well that we have to pop out. That one came out with that screw, the other one didn't. So let's give it a pick. There she is. And then we can just drain out the fluid. And it is, wow, that's bright yellow. Wow. And there's nothing in there as well. Absolutely nothing. They don't hold a lot. I think they hold 140mm of 2.1. It's between 2 and 3 weight fork oil you put in these. I'm going to put 2.5, but they only hold about 140mm, and that has spat out nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's pretty much empty. There you go. So now I'm going to need to get a syringe. Give me 2 seconds, I'll just get this sorted. So I fashioned this out of a syringe, some fuel line and a little air fitting. So I'm going to set the arm into the centre, and then we're going to put this in the bottom hole. And we're going to slightly tilt it up, and we're just going to keep squeezing fluid through until it starts blowing fluid and bubbles out of the top. There she comes. And then we'll level it off and we'll do it again. So the bubbles seem to have stopped. We'll take the screw and the O-ring and we'll just screw that back in. and then just slowly work the arm, very slowly, because it will squirt back out. We're just trying to work any air out of the system. So there's definitely still some air in there. We'll place it back in the centre. Undo this screw. Danger averted. I definitely didn't want to lose that. Right. Back to this. Comes more air. Put that screw back in. Come on, girl, let's get your first one. I'm just going to top that up. Perfect, all the air's gone. Beautiful. O-ring, screw. That's it, come on, back on. Bosh. But that even feels a million times better. So that's done. All the air's gone. It's super tight. It was felt really crunchy and horrible before. When I've emptied it out, I'd be lucky if there was 40 mil come out of there, let alone 140 mil. So that feels beautiful, and that's on the lowest setting as well. So that's definitely got some resistance in there now because it had none. So steering damper done for now. Let's do the top yoke, and then we'll look at getting the rib nuts fixed. First thing for the top yoke, we're going to take it to the kitchen and we're just going to give it a little wash with some warm soapy water, and then we come back. So that's just had a little scrub. Now next we're going to use some wax and grease. We'll just give it a wipe down with that. Once we've wiped it down with the wax and grease, we'll wipe it down with wax and grease with a rag, wipe it with a bit of clean rag, and then we'll just spray some of that and then let that dry up before we start sticking on the wrap. That's the washing, the degreasing and the isopropyl alcohol done. This is the carbon fibre wrap. So make sure you don't touch the top of the yoke now, because you don't want to put any fingerprints on there because it won't stick very well. So you can just grab it by the bottom piece there. And I'll just line this up. Where we want it to be. And we'll cut that with a straight edge. Stanley. Standing blade is not very sharp. Now we can the sticker on. We can peel it back. There she is, quite thick this stuff as well, so it'll be quite resilient. I'll try and keep this quite level. So that's gone on nice and flat. So now it's just a process of laying it down and slowly cutting it out. Just take your time. Nice sharp Stanley blade, and it's a flat piece, so it's easy. As long as you stuck it down, just follow the edges with a Stanley. You better do that. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. And there we have it. It's done. So I've got my little dash mount up here with my switch that I wanted. I've matched up the carbon fibre wrap there. You can see it in the light. Couple of tips for this is take your top nut for the steering stem and cut around it. I made this mistake before. You don't cut that out, you tighten up the top nut, you're going to twist all the wrap up. So do that, get a sharp knife. I mean, that took me 10-15 minutes. I've done it a couple of times now, but it is a super quick job. Just take your time, sharp knife. Yeah, and I'm well happy with that. So steering damper has been serviced, that's been done, and now I'm going to move on to sorting out the frame. Right, onto this job now. So this is our offending riv nut hole, or lack of riv nut, shall I say. So new riv nut in there. This one is still in there, but problem is, when we're replacing it, the one that we're going to put in is going to sit proud of the frame, and the one that's already in there is obviously flush with the frame. So it's not a huge issue, but I would rather drill the other one out and put the same riv nuts in, and then that way the steering stabilizer is going to sit level. Hopefully this goes well, because this could be a pain in the backside job. I'm not going to show you how to use a riv nut gun. If you're doing something like this, look up how to, and then yeah, so I'll just get them done and then I'll come back to you, and hopefully it's all gone well. Well, for once something's actually gone right. So easy as, got the old one out, got both new ones in, so perfect. Now I'm just going to put it all back together, and we can see what the little clamp and steering damper setup looks like. So next thing you're going to see is that. Happy days. I'm real pleased with that. So cool. Actually, there's another thing that we're going to do. Very little minor. I'll say minor, but these Pro Brake Revos, all of these are all rusted. So I've got some nice new black fixings, hardware or whatever you want to call it. So I'll change all them out while I'm at it. And that's the front ends coming together nicely there. Yep, I'm real pleased with that. So let's get the rest done. Gonna call that a productive little video, this one. Only little jobs, but loads of little niggly things to get done. They all went well, so happy with that. I'll just show you what we ended up with today. So there we have the yoke cover, the steering dampers fixed, changed out all the little bolts, some black hardware in there just to freshen those up, got my switch in. Yeah, really happy with that. So that's into this video. Like it if you liked it. If you want to follow, just give us a subscribe, and yeah, we'll be on to the next one soon.